So, Mr. Speaker, in continuing from where Honorable Eric left off, Mr. Speaker, it should be noted that at the committee, I personally asked the minister and the officials from the Ghana Cocoa Board a question for them to explain to us how they were going to sell the non-collateralized portion, representing 63% of their production. Mr. Speaker, the answer given to me by the Deputy Chief Executive of Ghana Cocoa Board, and Mr. Speaker, the records are there, was that they are going to sell them on spot. Mr. Speaker, the question I asked going forward was that what is going to be the rate? Because we know that they have sold some in October, we know that they sold some also in November, and so they should give us the prices. Mr. Speaker, it was at that meeting that the minister responsible for agriculture informed us that he will give us the spot amount before we leave the meeting. The Speaker, that information never came. The Speaker, I subsequently contacted the chairman of the Finance Committee that we would demand the spot sales prices before we come to the floor. The Speaker, the chairman asked me to reach out to the minister of Cocoa Board myself. This morning, Mr. Speaker, for your information, I called the Deputy Chief Executive of Ghana Cocoa Board, and he confirmed to me that so far they have sold 2 spots. First, at the cost of 3,500, and second, at the cost of 3,764. So, Speaker, this is the information we were given. So no one should tell us that they are not selling the rest of the spot. So, Speaker, let me refer you to portions of the committee's report. Mr. Speaker, page 3 of 10, options and impact considered, paragraph 4.2. The strategy envisaged is to reduce the pressure on Cocoa Board to sell large volumes of crop forward, to secure the facility to take advantage of the rising prices. The funding gap will be planned with other sales strategies, including spot sales, forward sales, and prepayment. Mr. Speaker, this was the information that they gave to us. So, Mr. Speaker, today, Mr. Speaker, I came to Parliament with one thing in mind. And what I had in mind was the news that was reported by BBC, by CNN, and by Reuters and Bloomberg. Mr. Speaker, the news is that Ghana cocoa farmers say that they are broke on the cocoa board. They are broke because as the cocoa board, which they have,
Honorable Minister, hold on. Honorable Minister.
The Speaker, I'm reading from BBC News Africa website. BBC News, British Broadcasting Corporation website. The Speaker, it can be googled now as we speak. The Speaker, and that's what I'm reading. The Speaker is saying that Ghana cocoa farmers say that they have broke as the cocoa board, which they are obliged by law to sell their products, is unable to pay them. The Speaker, if not the cocoa farmer, the Speaker, I would have had serious challenges in approving this loan. The Speaker, I believe that in spite of the concerns we have at the Ghana Cocoa Board, this loan must be approved for the cocoa farmer. This loan must be approved for the cocoa farmer. The Speaker, Cocoa Board need a major national attention. Cocoa Board need a major parliamentary scrutiny. Mr. Speaker, I say this for a number of reasons, and I'll take some few time of yours, Mr. Speaker, to take you through some of the concerns. Mr. Speaker, to start with, Ghana Cocoa Board started purchasing some fertilizers over the years. But Mr. Speaker, the interesting thing that we have seen is that whilst the purchases of fertilizer is going up, the production is coming down. So there's an inverse relationship between the purchases of fertilizer and chemicals as against production. Mr. Speaker, that tells a story that we should all be interested in. Mr. Speaker, let me give you some information. In 2017, this government purchased fertilizer, 352 million Ghana cedis. 352 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, in 2018, this amount doubled, in fact more than doubled, to 795 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, in 2019, it increased to 1.5 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, in 2020, this amount again increased to 1.7 billion Ghana cedis. In 2021, this amount went up to 1.9 billion Ghana cedis. In 2022, this amount went to 6 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, from 352 million to 6 billion Ghana cedis. At the same time, we have seen that the cocoa production is declining. Mr. Speaker, somebody will ask me, what is the dollar equivalent? I will take you through the dollar numbers, Mr. Speaker. And when you look at it, in any way, there's something terribly wrong at the Ghana Cocoa Board that we should all pay attention to. Mr. Speaker, all of a sudden, Ghana Cocoa Board is turning themselves to the Ministry of Roads and Highways. Mr. Speaker, if they have money and they want to assist in the construction of roads, they should give the money to the Ministry of Roads. They should give the money to the Ministry of Roads for Ministry of Roads to do the job. Mr. Speaker, for your information, Cocoa Board has awarded cocoa contract worth 21.7 billion Ghana cedis. 21.7 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, as we speak, they have claims for interest on delayed payment because they cannot pay this amount. The Speaker, claims on delayed payment alone, that's their own document. And the Speaker, this document was given to us by Ghana Cocoa Board. Claims on delayed payment alone is 264.6 million Ghana cedis. Delayed payment. The Speaker, Cocoa Board needs some attention. The Speaker, aside that, we were told that last cocoa season, they spent $45.6 million to purchase jute sacks, cocoa sacks. $45 million. The Speaker, they said that they purchased sacks worth 75,000 bales. 75,000 bales. Their own document. Each bale comprises 300 pieces of cocoa sacks. 300 pieces. At the cost of $603.19 per bale. This simply put is that one cocoa sack is $2 plus. So Speaker, not long ago, we were purchasing these cocoa jute sacks under $1. Show me the evidence. Have the evidence, Mr. Speaker. Not long ago. So what at all is happening? What at all is happening? $2 per bag. Mr. Speaker, aside that, this 75,000 bales times 300 will give you something around 1.4 million tons. 1.4 million tons of cocoa, but you purchased only 700. So it looks like you purchased about 650,000 metric tons. So you were just buying the cocoa sacks. Whilst you don't have the cocoa to put it inside the sack. You are buying the cocoa sacks, but you don't have the cocoa to put inside the sack. And you are pouring the sacks in a warehouse. The Speaker, Cocoa Board needs some attention. They need some national attention. And I'm not saying this because my brother Brian has become a minister. The Speaker, I'm not going, you just became the Minister of Agriculture responsible for cocoa. But Mr. Speaker, the truth is that this loan, me, as I sit here, I'm approving it largely because of the farmer. Other than that, this is a matter that we should have rejected. We should have rejected it and then get Cocoa Board to do some due diligence in the way they are managing the affairs of Ghana Cocoa Board. So Speaker, let me tell you another story. Not long ago, Cocoa Board issued, by the time we were leaving office in 2016, the Speaker, I was indeed a member of the board of Ghana Cocoa Board. Not only that, I was the chairman of the finance committee of the Ghana Cocoa Board. So, Speaker, we left office with cocoa bills worth $1 billion or 1 billion Ghana cedis. Arrest. So, Speaker, today, Cocoa Board has issued bills worth 14 billion, to the extent that between 2016 to 2017, they have increased the loan that they owe ordinary Ghanaian from 1 billion to 14 billion. So, Speaker, to the extent that they cannot repay that loan, and as we speak, they had to force holders of cocoa bills to receive a haircut. So the haircut is not only at the Ministry of Finance. Cocoa Board is also cutting people's hair. They are also giving haircut, and they are also not in a position to service their debt. The Speaker, Cocoa Board had a healthy equity. Healthy equity. This equity has been eroded gradually to the extent that today their equity is slightly above 2 billion because of the losses they've made 7 years in a row. Under the MPP administration, Cocoa Board has not made 1 cedi profit. 1 cedi profit. Every single year they've reported a loss. So, Speaker, if you are to deduct the 21 billion they owe the ordinary cocoa road contractor, Cocoa Board would have gone into a negative equity. So, Speaker, granted that that is not a debt yet, but Mr. Speaker, I disagree. It is indeed a debt. It is a debt. But let me say that aside that, they are projected to record additional losses this year. Their own projections. Additional losses. So if care is not taken, and if we fail to do something as a country, as a parliament, Cocoa Board will go into negative equity. It's because the matter is so severe that the IMF had a reason to report in the official document that went to IMF board that government of Ghana must immediately prepare a policy document to turn around Ghana Cocoa Board. So, Speaker, this particular statement is captured in the Memorandum of Economic and Financial Policy that went to IMF board last year. So, Speaker, this is a serious matter. I don't think this is a matter that we should litigate on. It is a matter that we should come together as a house and get Cocoa Board to do the right thing. Cocoa Board is a prestigious national asset. In the past, each and everyone want to be associated with Cocoa Board. The Speaker, unfortunately, is not the same. So, the Speaker, I urge you that whilst we approve this loan for the farmer, so that the farmer will be able to receive their income, we should, as a house, pay serious attention to what is happening at the Cocoa Board. And I'm glad that the minister responsible for agriculture has given some assurances that he is going to make sure some of those things are going to be dealt with. But my only concern was that he made a categorical statement that Cocoa Board is back. You are not back yet. Cocoa Board is not back. They are in the roots. Please, we need a proper turnaround strategy that will work for all of us. The Speaker, Cocoa Board has been driven aground. The mismanagement has become too much. Too much. And what is happening at Cocoa Board, if we are not careful, and if we are to fail in acting, one day, Ghanaians will ask us a question. So, Speaker, I want to conclude by making a statement, 2 statements. Mr. Speaker, first, the Finance Committee made a major recommendation at page 10, paragraph 7.7, direct offshore payment via Ghana International Bank in the UK. It says that the committee noted that during the 2022 and 2023 crop season, an amount of $36.7 million from the proceeds of the syndicated facility was left at the Ghana International Bank in London and used directly to pay for the import of tools of trade, i.e. jute bags, without same being surrounded to Bank of Ghana. The committee took the view that, in line with the Bank of Ghana's constitutional mandate in Article 183(2)(b) and Article 183(3) of the Constitution, as the sole custodian of state funds of Ghana, both within and outside Ghana, and also in accordance with the Public Financial Management Act, Cocoa Board should seek approval from the Bank of Ghana before keeping part of the syndicated loan proceeds abroad. The committee further urged Ghana Cocoa Board to ensure that going forward, all expenditures on the fund kept at the Ghana International Bank should comply with the Procurement Act 2016. So, Speaker, this is the beginning of what we are doing at the Finance Committee. But, Speaker, the trouble with Ghana Cocoa Board should not only end at the Finance Committee. It should be something that all of us as a house must be interested in. We need to protect Ghana Cocoa Board. It's a prestigious national asset. The Speaker, finally, it is important for us to talk about what Honorable Podo raised. So, Speaker, when revenues from Ghana Cocoa Board are paid to the consolidated fund, it is recorded as export duty. Export duty is part of the revenues. But, Mr. Speaker, every revenue has a line. And so if the revenue is coming from value-added tax, it is reported appropriately. So since the export duties are not reported, I'm surprised to hear from Honorable Abena that because it was added as part of revenue, nobody should give, they will not, there is no need for them to show us the line. So, Speaker, even if the revenue is coming from non-tax revenue, it is recorded as such. So Honorable Podo is right that in as much as they have deducted from Ghana Cocoa Board, when it hits the state coffers, there is the need for us to see the sources, and he has tracked the sources, and he can confidently report it, that so far they have not reported inflows of export duty. Mr. Speaker, we support that this loan must be approved for the farmer, Mr. Speaker, but with some serious reservation. Our reservation is that Cocoa Board need some form of scrutiny, some serious form of scrutiny to the benefit of the ordinary Ghanaian. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.